You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Welcome to Social Selling Simplified. I'm your host, Ashley Shaw, and in today's episode, we're going to be diving into your upline's advice isn't growing your business. How do you actually be productive when it comes to making money? So for most network marketers out there, there is, or could be, maybe you haven't discovered yet, a disconnect between the activities that you are told to do and what actually produces results in the business. So most network marketers find obviously a business opportunity they're super pumped about and super excited about. And this is the fundamental flaw that ends up happening with network marketing. You're all gung-ho, super excited to share about your journey, products, etc. You put it out there in the social media channels, and at first it kind of gets picked up a bit. People are also excited. You find some new customers, that sort of thing. And then it's like the shoe drops and all of a sudden you've run out of people to talk to. So the only method that you're given is to cold message people, randomly watch other people's stories and try to weasel your way in and comment and this sort of idea, which feels very unnatural for a lot of people, which makes sense, right? There's no organic relationship there. You're just kind of creeping on people and trying to figure out who maybe has their guard down enough to let you in. And I mean this with love, like I always mean this with love. I am a huge fan of being really authentic and genuine in sales interactions. And I truly believe that there are products that are perfect for people out there, and that it's our job, if we love something, to share that with other people. But what I can't get on board with is following a plan that doesn't make you feel like you're doing that or you're connected with that, or that you're just spraying and praying and wasting your precious time. Because most of us have gotten into our business to actually get time back and do more of what we love instead of more of what we hate. And that is, again, like just one of these fundamental flaws. I really think that in network marketing, there's exceptions, always exceptions in terms of uplines, exceptions in terms of companies, all these sort of things. But I think this oversimplification of, hey, just share your story, it doesn't set people up for success, because after you do that, what is the plan to get in front of more people and to start building an audience where you're taking cold people and actually turning them into warm people that are, they're basically primed to be able to buy your product in the future. I think that fundamental marketing piece is really continuously left out of the conversation, which makes people feel that if they don't have people coming to them and they're not seeing that warm market, you tend to think it's you, right? And you start to question, like, is this for me? Is it the product? All these questions come up. And really, the fundamental flaw is that you don't have a system to help you actually leverage your time and get in front of more people. So that's what I want to talk about today. This is, of course, about, I want you guys to be productive, but it's really important to understand what leverage looks like in your business and what are the top 5% of activities that actually are going to drive results in your business, because you can be productive. And I get it. Like, we all love a good to-do list because it fires the dopamine receptors when you're able to check those things off. But if that to-do list is just a bunch of BS, it's never going to help you build the business. And I want to be really real with you guys and just tell you guys the complete truth. After, 18 years of dabbling in online marketing, what you actually need to do to be successful with this. So let's start by talking about the top 5% of activities that actually make an impact in your business. So when we break down how a business starts to actually get some traction and grow, the first step in any business is for more people to become aware of you. So activities that produce awareness would be things like, for example, if you are writing a blog and you're answering questions, that's something that gets put out into, the internet, and people can search that and find you. Another thing would be possibly doing a podcast, because again, people have questions, they search it on the internet, they find you, they become aware of you. I mean, hashtags is definitely, could be on this list. I think that there's way too much emphasis put on hashtags as like this strategy that's going to magically grow your business. I think that's a little bit of, again, BS, because I think, for myself, I've had reels that have gone viral, and it's not like, that right hashtag combination or whatever was happening there all of a sudden produced a whole bunch of extra customers from it. So if that's what you're chasing, it's like, give your head a shake, because you can't turn that engagement. You don't cash in for money. Okay. So another example would be having an ad strategy on the front end that is actually putting you in front of more people. So this is, again, one of the missing gaps for most network marketers, is they have no system for people to become aware of them. They just post on social media and cross their fingers and hope that more people DM them and that sort of idea. So if you're missing that piece, that is the awareness piece. And this is one thing that would, fall into your top 5% of activities that you should be focused on. Like, how are you creating valuable content that your audience is super pumped to find? And again, just to recap, we've got blogs, podcasts, or Facebook ads. My favorite is Facebook ads, because then you can spend a little bit of money, $5 a day, and you can push that message out to more people. And so that message could be a social media post or whatever, but there definitely has to be a foundation in that post of, there's certain things you need to talk about in that post to make sure it's worth the money to spend. Then, of course, there's social media, which we're all very, unfortunately, this is where everyone puts 100% of their effort, but that is just a piece of the puzzle. And then from there, there's various steps after in terms of getting someone on your email list and, having emails that help to convert them into buying customers. Now, I'm very, very much oversimplifying all the rest of this process. But what I need you to understand is that if you do not have an awareness strategy and none of your time is actually being put into making people more aware of you, then you're always going to fall short of talking to enough people. So, should you start a blog? Should you start a podcast? These are good questions. Maybe a YouTube channel. I mean, these are all things that you want to take into consideration. What is easiest for you to actually do? YouTube is interesting because it's the second largest search engine outside of Google. It's a really interesting question. So when it comes to utilizing one of those strategies, it's something that you definitely want to think about. And what ends up falling into this top 5% bucket is what I would call face of the business activities.
Hey, coach, I finally have something that I've been dreaming of providing for you. I know that you definitely didn't start this business because you really felt like pestering your friends and family and getting ghosted by everyone. Chasing people down or having to follow up with them is definitely hard work, and it can feel so awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. But your upline probably told you that this is what successful people do, and they didn't mention to you that unless you're this superstar salesperson right off the bat, you're going to struggle forever if you keep doing it that old school way. 99% of coaches quit because they suddenly declare themselves this expert online and then go back and ask everyone who knew them to just start buying from them when they just started working out last week. And this problem applies to all network marketers, not just coaches. But the 1% that actually succeed have made it because they've caught on to a different system that's been proven to work. And it's just something that nobody really talks about. It's all about taking some simple steps to position yourself as an influencer first. So soon, instead of asking people to talk to you, you'll attract ideal customers who are already excited to learn from you and buy from you. They'll know exactly what you're about and how you can help them. Go to ashleyshaw.ca/fyourupline to learn more and see exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to hunt people down and make them talk to you in order to get your bills paid for the rest of your life. Check out my short book called F What Your Upline Said and get an entirely different approach that will feel much more organic and authentic. That's ashleyshaw.ca/fyourupline. I'm so excited for you to start implementing these 4 simple changes in your business and see how it absolutely transforms how you feel about your business and the results that you're able to get.
Now, the reason that these are so important is that it helps actually give your business some legs to grow, but it also is something that no one else can do for you, which is really important. And so if we move into, okay, so we understand the concept of the top 5% activities. What are the things at the top of the list that really will help grow the business? I'm going to say right now, you need an awareness strategy, and that's what you should be thinking about and focusing on. If you're going to go the Facebook ad route, then there are additional steps, because I wouldn't recommend, this old school strategy of like, oh, just push people to your page. Like that doesn't help you. So you need to have I'm going to call it a funnel. If you haven't heard that term before, you basically want to funnel people through a set of steps to get them ultimately to a place that you can put your offer in front of them. So you need to actually build that out if you're going to be using ads. So typically the easier thing to think about is, what are the other ways that I can make people aware of me as I'm, getting more and more comfortable with building a funnel and doing those things. If you're at that point that you're ready to build your funnel, that's what the mastermind is all about. So make sure you check out Network Marketing Won't Make You Rich. Do this too. That will help you actually put together your funnel, and we actually help do the work for you in the mastermind. That's a side note. That's a more advanced strategy, but that's definitely a good one. So if we think about, so we've got our top 5% activities, and let's just think here for a second. Face of the business is going to be most important for you to focus on. So let's talk a little bit about what is leverage and what does this look like. So when you are building a business, it's very common to be trying to do all the things in your business. And if you are doing all the things, sometimes it can be hard to see sort of the forest through the trees unless you get really clear on what are those sort of CEO level activities that you should be doing and thinking about. And one of those things is creating content. And I mean content beyond social media. It's important to be answering people's questions. I think it's called Answer the Public. So there's a tool you can use called Answer the Public, and you can discover what people are asking about. So for example, let's say I'm just going to throw in here, if I put in weight loss, let's say I'm typing this in right now, searching here, it's going to tell me exactly what people are searching and which weight loss program is best, which weight loss pills actually work, who weight loss fast, weight loss clinic, weight loss guidelines. Like this tells me a whole bunch of topics that I could answer in terms of content. Now, the other content strategy could be Facebook Lives and different things like that. Like that, obviously, that can work as well. But when it comes to actually leveraging your time in your business, I want you to look at your list of things that you typically do and determine what are the things that only I can do and what are the things that other people can help do. And again, I know your purse strings are very closely attached at this point. Maybe your business has become an expensive hobby, but let me just lay something on you a little bit here with leverage. Think about it this way. If you were going to hire somebody to help watch your children, let's just say, I'm in this situation right now where we have an au pair and she spends, 8 hours a day with my daughter. We have another baby obviously on the way here. And so here's the thing. If I can pay somebody, the going rate for au pairs when they come from another country, $15 an hour. This is Canadian. And so that is what I pay. And then I get that, let's say 8 hours a day back to focus on higher leverage activities that will pay more than $15 an hour. So this is how I want you to start thinking about actually outsourcing in your business, because you can't possibly do everything. And when it comes to thinking about, should I pay for this or what does this look like? This was one thing that had me really stumped for a long time. Like, when does it make sense for me to actually outsource things in my business? Because I could just do it. The problem is, if that is your mentality, then you're never going to really get to the most important things in the business that only you can do. And the things that are like $100 per hour tasks, such as recording your podcast, going live and doing videos, writing, a blog post, or doing a video for YouTube and then transcribing it to a blog post and answering the questions that your ideal customer is actually asking. Because if you think about it, how people are actually going to find you is they're probably going to be searching on Google or YouTube, and you're answering their question, and then they start to like you and trust you and all those sort of things, right? So if you aren't doing that and you're just focusing on social media, which, as we know, the delivery rate to your audience is only 1% to 2%. So 1% to 2% of your audience is actually seeing what you're putting out there. Your business is going to be the slowest growing business ever. Okay. So I want you to think about those sort of things, because there are definitely things you're doing that a VA could take over, a very competent VA from, let's say, there's VAs in many, many different places. Our team of VAs, we have a couple VAs from the Philippines, one from Mexico, and, in various positions, but they are able to help take off that burden of the admin tasks that then help you leverage your time to focus on more important activities. So I don't think that we can really talk about those top 5% activities without the caveat that your business will get to a point that you will need to outsource, and you need to protect your time so that you are always able to work on growing the business instead of just being stuck in the monotonous day-to-day tasks. Because most often the whole strategy of, I'm just going to post on social media, is not a good use of your time. In fact, it's sometimes deducting from your bank account of time if the posts are not intentional, and if they don't have, a great hook, and they don't contain the information that someone would actually need to take action. So those are some things to definitely think about. If this is of interest to you, and this has been an area that you definitely are feeling lost and need some guidance, you'll want to check out Network Marketing Won't Make You Rich, that workshop. We also have that, and that one's more advanced. I will say that is more for the people that are ready to start building out their funnel and start doing something different in terms of their network marketing business. The other workshop that we have is called Your Upline is Full of Shiz. And this is all about what to do instead of this cold messaging over and over again. That is another great workshop to really help explain what are the pieces of the puzzle that you should focus on. And this would be outside of the awareness, right? Like awareness is going to be part of it, which I talk about, but then there's definitely some additional steps that you need to have in place. So check out those workshops. Those are going to be super, super helpful. I hope there were some light bulb moments today for you. You'll learn something. I hope you had a great time listening. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on Social Selling Simplified.
Thanks for taking the time to level up today. If you're ready to commit to personal and professional growth, move forward, make money, and grow your health and fitness business, head to my free community on Facebook, Business Bootcamp for Fitness Coaches, so I can support you every step along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you right back here next week on Social Selling Simplified.